Oh no, he's doing math. Oh come
He's
on!
very
Why
blonde.
couldn't they have made it an Asian? He's doing math.
He's
Doing someone else's homework. Oh, that's how it happens. Okay,
what?
that's how he gets the notebook. All right.
That
That sure.
I mean, it does
It-
rain, and this is set in Seattle,
It
correct?
fell out of the sky. Oh my god, this is like Spider-Man 3. Like, how did the symbiote come from space?
And he also does not have kids, and he's not,
Sorry, that was really
Like, I gotta
intense. Detention! Like, oh my god, honey.
Hold on. Who would do detention who would hold detention in a science lab filled with deadly chemicals?
That didn't even look like a science lab. It just looked like a supply closet full of jars of marbles.
But it's like, is he in the supply closet? He didn't have to go into the room. Oh, there's Mr. Palm Front. Looks like a palm tree.
There's Willem Dafoe, which his face, like, it is him and his face suits it. Okay, that scream was great. That was a great scream. I need that scream in my life. Like, is it supposed to be really campy? Like, okay, I'm finding that hilarious, but I feel like, is that supposed to be, like, it seems really campy when freaking out like that. It reminds me of, like, Shia LaBeouf and, like, the Transformer movies where it was just such overacting that you couldn't help but just laugh.
Yeah, this seems like it's supposed to be comedy.
Yeah.
But it's...
Oh. Decapitation. Oh.
Why would... That's it.
Wow, that's really extreme, man.
Whoa. I mean, you were supposed to be the sympathetic guy.
You were supposed to just let it, let people just have heart attacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone like...
No, at least he was incredibly intelligent while doing it.
Is this Final Oh my god, is this gonna go into like a Final Destination thing?
Look, an Asian, I think. Oh, never mind. Oh, there, yep.
Oh my god. Really? Ooh! That is... Woo! Those are some nice effects, but really? It became Final Destination.
Listen, I need to separate.
Yeah.
But I don't know what his character is. I
Yeah.
guess I kind of know what his motivation is. Like, it's to help
Right.
people. But really, it's just to decapitate motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, given the option, he will just brutally murder, and he doesn't seem that fucked up by this.
No.
As
Right.
opposed to screaming 2 minutes ago when
because I was trying to break up
a giant, porcupine said, "You can kill anyone. I'm here." I would love it if they just had 10 minutes of him crying. I mean, it wouldn't be light at that point,
If we so desire, we can influence.
Why?
Roll 20.
Oh, so it does become Final Destination.
but I guess they just really wanted dramatic deaths.
Oh god! What the fuck?
Wait. Okay, I'll admit the video lagged there. How did that kill him?
So Final Destination shit happens. So,
Alright.
the guy's eating, the girl's laughing, the girl accidentally pushes over the salt shaker. The waiter steps on the salt shaker, slips a bit, falls on top of the guy. The guy then falls on top of the steak knife that's on the
Oh.
table. So it goes
Oh.
into his neck and it's like, yeah.
How would that even...
No, that doesn't work.
What?
Oh.
Also, how would you write that in the journal? Like, did he go word for word and then the salt shaker falls on the ground and some guy who might be nearby slips on it and then guy B and then like drawing diagrams in there?
I think like just like before when he said decapitation. Obviously, we don't see what he actually said, like wrote here. He probably said
Stabbed through the neck with his neck with steak knife. I mean, that's
I think his was just like neck slit maybe, but I feel like because they're doing this as like a horror film kind of aspect,
Mhm.
and this director has actually filmed a lot of like really like B movie, like not even B movie, like we're looking at more like derpier. You know, all his work, like I know and I've actually reviewed because it's been on like stuff that I've reviewed before. So it's like VHS, ABCs of Death, all those things that I've like gone through and like pretty much been like, okay, guys, you know, he's not a bad director, you know, because like things look like a thing, you know, but I feel like, because this is presented as a horror film rather than just kind of like a thriller mystery kind of movie, because I feel like Death Note is, even though it's called Death Note, I feel like Death Note is more of like mystery, thriller, suspense kind of stuff. Because I remember reading the manga and being like, oh my god, he's gonna get caught, oh my god, he's gonna get caught, like it was the suspense was killing me, you know. And I feel like here it's just like gore, 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 and it's like, okay, so and again, it's becoming a Final Destination movie because you're only caring to watch it just to see how the next person dies. You know what I mean? Like we're already at the second death. We're how many minutes in? Like, god damn it, I don't fucking know. But we're we're barely in, and we're on the second death. And I already feel like, okay, I like immediately now I'm already like, okay, I wonder how more elaborate and ridiculous these deaths are gonna get. Again, just like Final Destination, instead of in the original story where you're more like, it's about light. It's like as much as about a Death Note, it's about like his journey and kind of like with The Walking Dead. Like the zombies are like a secondary thing, but the primary thing is about people and how they what's the word
how they interact.
How they interact and how they like survive in this type of situation, you know.
And it's about their psychology and
right, and then zombies, by which that's how Death Note is, which is how this kid is coping with being pretty much like
a god,
like Death himself or whatever, not. And then, of course, you know, again, like trying to get away with it and not getting caught and and all that stuff. But this is just like, it just seems like someone is trying to write a script for yet another Final Destination movie. It's my journal. I'm sorry, you're a weird kid in high school with a journal, quote unquote, that says Death Note on it.
Sure. Okay,
can someone send up the red flags for a possible school shooter? Like
that's true.
Does she want to like bone him? Like, you see how she's like?
I mean, I can't really understand teenager eyes. I don't know if that was the I hate you look,
or like, what are we doing right now?
Yes.
Why do you have your $3,000 laptop just in school and in the lunchroom? Like, yeah.
Wait. So he's showing her how this works.
Yeah, immediately. Like, just as like what, the next day or some shit? It's like the next day, and he's like, "Hey, friend."
Is this him trying to get Poochang, or is he just like, well, why is he doing this?
Right? I'm gonna get so much puss. I'm gonna show this girl how to kill people via notebook that a hallucination had gave me. Like, oh yeah, that's gonna work well. Panties will be dropping like crazy, like
everywhere. Like,
oh my god, just out of the sky, just
panties. I'll just be panty notebook guy. It'll be so cool. People
oh my god,
will look at me with respect.
Then that suddenly becomes like a weird Japanese thing. The panty notebook guy. It's like those weird guys who like buy the girls' underwear and then wear them on their heads. All right, I'm going too far into a different rabbit hole now. Let's not go there.
That's like the opposite spectrum of whitewashing. It's like perhaps we should step back a little bit.
Yeah. Oh god.
Wow, that cop's gonna get fired.
What do you write? That guy name steps into traffic.
Salute. Performs a military salute.
Oh, dude, you're right. He does go. He does go into detail in his writing.
Wow. Wow. I mean, someone wants to be a poet. What? I don't know what happened.
I can't.
So he gets electrocuted by waterboarding somebody? Is that what happened?
Because he was like dunking people's heads in and all that stuff. Which,
Korean dictator?
yeah.
But
But then it's like, oh, by electrocution. So he has like the fucking thingies in his hand. Then he gets electrocuted and his head explodes.
what?
So they're aware that all the candy causes, like, you know, diabetes, because they're talking about like insulin and all that stuff. So those funky goggles are stuff.
Singing a song for me.
What?
Of course.
I don't know.
What?
You're out of the woods, you're out of the dark, you're out of the night.
What is going on?
What
is going on?
This didn't happen, right?
No! There was nothing about Elle having diabetes and needing to wear funky sunglasses to protect his body clock, as they said, which was weird. I don't recall him having like private jets and shit too. Well, it's like the basement of that hospital I worked at. As in every hospital.
Although I doubt that they're this creepy.
Oh, this was pretty fucking creepy. It wasn't like water damage, but it was. It made me think of like Silent Hill. It was pretty creepy.
Oh, really?
There was like wires and old like full metal beds and stuff. Yeah, it was like not a good feeling. Not a good feeling. Sorry, because the music's really loud. I said that the way how they wrote the two of them, they made the two of them such loose cannons. You know?
Yes.
Where like all that like immediately Elle like loses his shit, immediately Light loses his shit like this, and it's like the girl's trying to kill the guy's dad, but he's like no, but then he's like anyway, puss. So then it's like okay, and he's a loose cannon because he's just like well now of course because like one he wants to know Elle's name and two like you know like he's fucked and three like Elle fucking loses his shit just as like okay I get it, the guy has been with him like his whole life and all that stuff, I get it, I would be upset too, but dude like just stealing a car, all the cars, a police car, and just kind of driving through the night to like I gotta find him, it's like oh my god, like calm down.
Well, they kept packing in so many ideas.
Right.
Like they just wouldn't stop with the ideas. Like whenever the editor was out of the room, they just packed in more stuff and then packaged it and let it loose.
Right.
Like who was the writer who said no? Like where were they?
Right.
Did they fire them? Did they lock them out of the room as soon as they said, "Why is she still here?"
Mm-hmm.
Just so many ideas and so many visual ideas, and it just wouldn't stop.
Right.
Like that. The director was just like, and then they're going to explode. And no one... You would think that there'd be more people saying, stop.
Right.
Like stop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Netflix is doing more of a thing now of releasing a lot of American like animations in the anime style.
Right.
And they've been good. And of course they've been in production for a while because it's a cartoon and you have to draw every single fucking panel.
Right.
You'd think, I don't know how it works with Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
If Netflix is just, if they're not even technically the producers of this, if they're just really slapping their name on it.
Right, that they're just releasing it, yeah.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be, because Netflix has a talented team, you'd think there'd be somebody to go, I don't like half the shit on this piece of paper.
Right.
Go on.
Okay. Yeah, but I think like I feel like with this, they're like, again, we're gonna take these white actors, we're gonna put them in the movie, and then we'll just change up the story a bit, just to keep it American, and it's like, it's to the point where like, this isn't even Death Note anymore. You know what I mean? Like this isn't even Death Note anymore. It's Death Note in name only. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like we're saying it's Death Note. It's not Death Note. It like I said, it's Death Note in name only because it's pretty much a Final Destination movie. I keep saying that it's a Final Destination movie.
Present at the pier when two individuals fall from the northwest Ferris wheel.
Oh, so he planned this.
He rescues a male suspect from the water and manages to revive him, saving his life. Using his connections at the hospital, Ludlum keeps the suspect in a medically induced coma for 2 days.
Wow.
At the end of this period, he leaps to his
He
death
actually is
and
just
reaches the
as bad.
hospital.
So he really had this planned out, apparently. Or they realized they wrote themselves into a fucking plot hole and had to come back.
Mm-hmm. Let's take lunch,
Mia
guys.
Sutton is killed and she accepts the death note from her boyfriend.
Wow.
Oh. So you never know.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, I guess, assumed that... I'm gonna turn that down. Yeah, apparently assumed that he ends up writing his name on there.
Mm-hmm.
That was dumb as shit. That was horrible, man. Like, oh my god. Again, I keep saying this. Again, whitewashing aside, this was just ass. It's like they'll never learn. It's like, I get it, like, other people, like, I remember when I told them about how shit Ghost in the Shell was, you know, for them, like, I get where they were coming from when they were saying, like, well, you know, serves them right to trying to, like, promote a shitty movie with, like, incorrect. I'm like, I get it, I guess that's the karma of it, but it's also like, come on.
You still gotta make an effort.
Yeah, again, yeah, you can't just hire the white people and just be like, this will just, be okay.
This is great. This is great. All the weeaboos will buy it up.
Yeah. But it's like, I can't. Oh my god. This was... Oh my god.
That... What was his name? The Asian helper. Or the Asian butler. That was the only one I felt sorry for.
Oh, of course, because he was just kind of like doing his thing, you know? He was doing his thing, and then he just, wrong place, wrong time, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was an ass of a movie. Jesus Christ.
That was just disappointing and poorly done. Like, they had no good original ideas.
Yeah, because you know what? Yeah, because at least with Ghost in the Shell, it just looked good. Like, at least it looked good. And you can't be mad at those people, because that's like, you know, I think it was like Peter Jackson's people, so it looked fucking good. It looked good, everything looked fucking good, everything was so awesome. Here, it's like, you know, we're in Seattle, but we're in like a suburban part of Seattle, and, you know, stuff and things, and, you know, anyway, this was bad, man. Like,
yeah.
Also, I found it funny that the helper guy took a train, so he took like 5 times as long to get from Seattle to New York, and then when he got to New York, had to go all the way to Montauk, which is like the dick tip of Long Island. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. I feel like while they were writing this, or like they were writing it on the fly, it seems, it's like they realize there's all these plot holes. Like we were saying before, like when all of a sudden all those FBI guys were jumping off the roof, and I was saying like, I don't know, I think, because I think there was a part where the Shinigami can take over with the Death Note and like choose their own thing, but it's not it's not a insane situation like this. You know what I mean? It was like again, there was subtle nuances with the rules and whatever not. But like then it was like discovered like, oh, the girl tased the one dude who, I guess you're that great of an FBI agent, tased him and forced him at taser point to write down all the names. Like, okay, you know, and it's like fine, but again, it's like I feel like they keep writing themselves in a circle, and then they're like, oh wait, we gotta fix it. Like something will happen, and then minutes like 10 to 20 minutes later, they'll have to like explain what the fuck moment was, you know? And the fact that like the Ferris wheel and all that shit that was planned, I was like, okay. So that was planned.
Yeah, that was just, well, it's just poor character writing. That's one of the big things that got to me. It's just poor characters the entire time. And Elle at the end just deteriorating like a big baby, which maybe that's what he was, but also just the idea that, oh, he was trained in a weird insane asylum?
Yeah,
he's not just naturally like this?
Yeah, it's not like he's just like some like savant or something. Like he's he was like bred to be. He was bred to be insane. Well, I guess he wasn't an insane asylum, so he was like bred to
And
be
that's,
even
like-
extra insane.
And that makes no sense. That connects to nothing.
Right.
Nothing else.
That's a
in the
weird
entire story.
backstory. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
help it. Oh my god.
I still don't get. Like usually at the end of a movie where you have to question somebody's morals throughout, you're
Right.
more like, okay, they're gray, they're in the gray area, but okay, it's a little bit. It's like you're trying to do a Godfather sort of thing, which is like, oh, okay, this person's really turned. At the end of this, you're supposed to feel like, oh, Light was just screwed over by a psycho girlfriend, and okay, oh, it turned out he was dark in the end, but it still seemed like he wanted to cry like he was. It didn't. I don't know if he felt remorseful about anything.
I know. I feel like
And-
he was just playing the victim in everything, which is like,
He
well,
was playing the victim, and then he like has his girlfriend killed, and he said, "If you loved me, you wouldn't have taken the book," which is just a weird way to handle that.
right. And again,
And
she
it's-
she wanted to kill his dad, and I'm like, that doesn't help either, you know?
Yeah, like why didn't after, as you said earlier, after your mom is like his mom was killed, you already know what it's like to lose one parent, even if it's the remaining parent is a moron. You don't want them to go.
Right.
What? Why did you? And there are other. Also, why did they get together? Because she was like also kind of odd and weird, and he decided to show her like
Yeah, like she.
practically death porn. I mean, what?
Yeah. Because like she's a cheerleader, and he's there, and then she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he was just like, she's like, "Oh, what's that book you have?" He's like, "Oh, it's nothing." Instead of being like, "Okay, you're weird, bye." He's like, "Oh yeah, let me show you this thing." Pulls out my expensive ass laptop. Yeah, so I can kill people with this book. She's like, "Oh my god, it's like so cool. Like, can you get pumpkin spice lattes later?" You know, like what? Like what?
That it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense why she would have anything to do with him unless she was just secretly really into death porn
Yeah.
and just got this creepy vibe from him. Just like that's the kind of guy.
You're like, I hope he killed animals as a young child, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, ugh.
He looks so cute with a pillowcase over his head.
I know, right? So yeah, that was that movie.